Good day to you, my fellow endoskeletons. I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase progress report. We're on week 45 of 2020, and if you're new here, I bring you the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. Kicking off today with some breaking news. Starbase Early Access launch has officially been delayed until the first quarter of next year. But before you head to the comments about how it's too slow or the game's never coming out, don't. Of course it's going to come out. This year has been a difficult one for sure due to the virus, but that aside, Frozenbyte have been refining more and more on what they want the early access to look like, as they complete more features and find things that are needed to support such features. Community feedback has been great for the most part at identifying missing elements and ideas, and this too has helped reshape what EA will look like. It's a constant evolving target, but we are slowly closing in. Large gameplay loops and features designed over the last year are reaching completion and will soon be with us, including but not limited to gravity, stations, moon cities, advanced mining, factories, asteroid belt hazards, tutorials and more. What is important is that the game is ready for early access when they launch. So in that regard, this delay is a good thing. We should be happy there isn't a publisher like EA behind this game, pushing it to a date, ready or not. And I can tell you right now, the game as it stands today is definitely not ready for an early access release. There has been so much progress made in the last year, clearly evident by all the notes and images they release every week. Many things from these images are still not in the game and are awaiting their supporting features. We're going to be seeing a lot more rapid progress in the next few months as larger pieces of the game come online, and these will need further work and refinement before early access. On a further positive note, tutorials are going to drop very soon now, which means more of you fine folk will start receiving your invites and can see for yourself. So sit tight, be patient, a few more months of dev time will pay itself back with a much better launch for our much loved game of Starbase. Now in closed alpha news, we received another patch that garnered quite the mixed reaction last week. Since the beginning, the devs have said ships built via the SSC will be built from material plus a construction fee. And up until now, we've had a purely easy mode of building ships with just credits. Now the game is moving forward with its original intent and seems to have caught people off guard. But it makes total sense. You could build up pretty much any ship within a week or two with just a little bit of grinding for cash, which is way too fast a progression. This change also encourages ship shops and designers, as these ships can still be purchased with just credits, albeit with an increased price. The auction house has seen a spike in usage too now that we need materials for ships, and it has certainly kicked off the player-driven economy. So all in all, I think it's a great update, and a few players have even tried out starting from scratch, deleting everything they have, and just keeping the new starter ship that they would have got from the tutorial. For the most part, these players seem to be having a lot of fun, and it seems like they've pretty much got the balance right for it. But time will tell. Obviously, the economy at the moment and a lot of the features are still missing a lot of things. As we get these new features and gameplay loops in, we'll be able to easily manufacture more things, we'll be able to refine materials, ships may even cost cheaper in terms of materials if we can build them from refined materials. So there's still lots of unknowns out there, so stick with it if you're in closed alpha and give it a good try. I can show you guys a quick example of the new material costs. Using my popular ship, the Buffalo, its ship shop price has increased to 61 million. But to build this design from the SSC, we have a new window to show required ores, as well as the assembly cost at the bottom. As I said before, eventually this will shift from ores to refined materials when that gets implemented. As you can see, you get both kilovoxel amounts as well as rough stack counts, and I find the stack count a little bit easier to read. We will now see a shift away from putting everything and anything on ships, and more towards crafting ships specifically for different ores. For instance, ships with a generator enhancer will be tough to build due to how rare Zalium is. I'm looking forward to seeing how this will change people's build habits, if at all, and a new range of ships built with a lower cost in mind to create a better progression path for players with lower budgets. We also have something interesting in the Lowry quote of the week. There is a big patch confirmed for this week. Now this could either be a big patch or a massive patch, and they are finalising what's in it right now. We could see one or more of the big gameplay loops, but Lowry reminds us that everything that does come with it will just be the first step for these gameplay loops, and more of each of them will come in time, and to expect bugs at the start. A quick reminder here that in closed alpha you should always expect bugs, and if you do find any, then you should definitely hit the F1 key at any time to send a bug report. We also got some examples on what to expect with station building, including some new forms of building other than the building tool, but it won't be all of them. The first factory will either be asteroid mining automation or simple parts manufacturing, or possibly both, but not complex blueprint manufacturing. The first moon city will only be a few square kilometers, and first gravity will pull your ship to the surface. But then what else would gravity do, huh? I'm also hoping one of these main loops will be the tutorial section of the game, which would mean fresh invites being sent out to a lot of people. So best of luck everyone, if and when that happens. Now on to the progress report. The main design features worked on last week were mining backpack is now the default backpack. New players will spawn with the mining backpack. Ore distribution and material progression design work continues. Restricted areas regarding player stations have been configured. Building a station on some key locations is forbidden and prevented. Player stations have been tested and improvements designed based off the results. Bolt tool improvements have been tasked. The tool should add bolts to all port profile suggestions, ignoring the max hard cap. Mining laser power consumption issue has been resolved and fixed. It now consumes a whopping 6,000 power per second. We've known this has been coming for some time, but I'm sure some ships will no longer be able to run their lasers. Economy configurations and design have been worked on, with player progression and material availability in the belt and beyond. Spaceship designer assembly design and assembly cost changes, and new player made ships were added to the economy. In station design this week, the build restriction area configuration has been added to allow developers to specify areas where player stations cannot be built. This should keep the starter area close to origin clear and simple for players to navigate. Owned station limit has been updated to 1 per user profile. Very interesting this has been set so low per player, considering the huge effort it takes to build a station. Hopefully ownership can be transferred to a faction or company at a later stage, otherwise I would like to see this limit lifted at least a little bit higher. And new permissions to station management have been added, with the adjustment of how many lots a user can rent within the station has been made possible. The possibility for a user to be exempted from the rental payments has been added, and the station owner can rent any number of lots and pays no rent on them by default. Some great new info here, and I can already see how this will help companies give support back to their members with free lots on their stations. It's very exciting. Now onto the gameplay updates. Resource bridge transfer with single powered bridge port has been enabled. Asteroids should be loaded again before colliding into them. Thruster blockness checking has been extended to avoid all kinds of encapsulated thrusters. This isn't Space Engineers, no internal thrusters. Thank you very much. Ship acceleration sound system has been refactored. Multi-source sound system has also been tweaked, and the cargo lock frame's wall will no longer disappear during fast travel. And in UI updates we have auction house buy order, service fee variants and alternative UI have been worked on. Design for alternative tutorial routes has also been worked on. Ores not being stackable has been fixed. And a fix has been made for not being able to auto-bolt objects with no bolt profiles if objects already have bolts. And Starship Creator updates for the last week are: Quick Bar has been enabled in the Spaceship Designer test mode, and a fix has been made for selection not working properly after rotating the camera in the Spaceship Designer. Our animation changes, our work on first-person sprint animations and general polish continues, and third-person resource port animations were worked on. And in station art this week we have skyscrapers, street levels and city holograms are being worked on. And lastly, other updates this week are: the Halloween shop has been removed, adamant armor set textures have been tweaked and paint jobs have been updated. The Tuxine armor set colored areas have been slightly tweaked. Moon terrain texture tiling has been adjusted. Lucium asteroid concept image has been made. This is on screen now and looks awesome. I'd love to see more asteroids where it's obvious what's in there, mixed in with all the rest of the belt. Inventory icons have been added for blueprint projectors, remote explosive assets, and station assets with bases and beams. And a new warp gate entry effect and the first version of the warp gate travel effect have been created. This is very exciting, and hopefully we are not too far away from seeing the gate itself. Now there's no featured video this week, but don't forget if you do get into closed alpha, be sure to send any funny or awesome clips and recordings my way for a chance to be featured on the channel. Feel free to contact me via Discord or come jump on my Discord server, which is also home to my faction the K-Bots, should you be looking for one to join. As always, please smash that like button, share the video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor out.